welcome back. We found our way to this very relaxing cabana because we got to sit down for this one. It's Mobile Suit Gundam CrossFire for the PlayStation 3, developed by Namco Bandai or Bandai Namco. I can never tell. What did you think of Mobile Suit Gundam CrossFire?
Easily the very worst game so far on the PlayStation 3.
Terrible.
Hands down.
Yes.
No, I mean, this
Agreed.
is embarrassing. Sony, if Sony's going to try to get $600 from people, they need to not even allow these games to come out on their system because this is embarrassing.
So you liked it?
I hated it.
Okay, no, so this is what we've been saying with Xbox 360
and
as well.
And you love big mech monsters.
I love the big robots.
And you don't even like it,
this has got to be the worst and most disappointing big robot experience I've ever had. They screwed up on the frame rate. They screwed up with the special effects and
special effects?
Well, like weapon effects and stuff like that. I mean, the lightsaber things look terrible. The laser swords, or whatever they call them. The buildings don't fall down properly. The camera angles, the invisible walls.
How about the crappy graphics?
The fog everywhere. I know everything's so bland and boring. Doesn't matter if you're in the mountains or in the desert. I've seen better looking stuff on the PSP environmentally. I'm talking. Now, the only thing that I liked about this game, and we might as well say the one okay thing about it, is the look of the mechs themselves. Like when the camera pans around them and you can kind of see what they look like, they've got a pretty cool detail, the metallic kind of
you know what?
definition.
They're all gray or brown.
No, they got colors on them, and what I like is that they have some, war-worn kind of look to them.
To me, the best part was that you can like shoot the guy's arms off.
That too. That's all right.
So you have these guys walking around with no arms.
That's one of the cool things about the giant mech games is that they do have pieces of their arms and their legs flying off, and they can still deal with things.
I was bored. To get a little more specific too, I mean, even the collision detection is crap.
You don't know if you're hitting the guy with the sword half the time,
now they do have a targeting system, like you could hit the button and it kind of targets in.
You can zoom in,
but the camera controls,
dude,
and it just jitters around constantly.
Absolutely, I was trying to find the enemies all the time, and it just never felt fluid. And the frame rate is atrocious.
And the frame rate,
when you get a few different mechs on screen or a few different enemies on there, it absolutely crawls, man.
And it depends on
PlayStation 3.
I know.
What is up with that? That's unbelievable.
And it's not like they're pushing amazing graphics either.
No.
They're really crappy graphics.
And multiplayer is split screen.
Yeah,
and the frame rate gets even worse. Oh, it's so horrible.
No online play.
No online play. You know what?
It was painful.
I christened this the PlayStation 3's Bomberman Act Zero.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right.
It is the worst game to come out on the system. It's embarrassing.
It's dog awful.
Oh, my God.
I'm giving it a 1.
1.5 for me. On the positive side, I like chopping off the other robot's arms. Some of the detail on the mechs is almost acceptable, and it is kind of fun to destroy big buildings.
On the negative side, the level of destruction in the environments is just so unsatisfying. What's up with the fog everywhere on every level? The frame rate's horrible, the collision detection has tons of problems, the camera controls are awful, multiplayer sucks. Basically, this is the biggest insult to giant mech fans like myself the world has ever seen. Congratulations, Bandai Namco.
Or Namco Bandai.
All right, stick around when we come back. It's 2D action on the Wii. It's Metal Slug Anthology, right after this. Hey, longtime viewers of Electric Playground and Reviews on the Run probably remember how big of a fan I was of Diddy Kong Racing for the N64. Well, it's back on the DS. It's Diddy Kong Racing DS. What an imaginative title. What's great about this game is the diversity in the kart racing mechanics, because it's not just the karts. You also get some cool little plane action, and you get some hovercraft time as well. And that's nice. It's a nice kind of diversity there. They also switch to first-person mode and let you kind of control everything with the use of the stylus, and you have to pop balloons and collect coins. There is a lot of repetition because you have to go past levels over and over and over again to try to unlock everything before you get access to the bosses and all that stuff. But I didn't mind that too much because the graphics are great, the sounds are great, the music's very catchy. This is a solid kart racing game. I don't think it's quite as sharp and defined and cool and original as the original Diddy Kong Racing was when I played it on the N64, but I still had a great time. I'm giving Diddy Kong Racing DS 8.5 out of 10. Hey, we return. We're talking now about Metal Slug Anthology for the Wii. This is from S&K, and it's the old Metal Slug arcade game. You've never been a Metal Slug fan, have you?
Not so much. I'm a Contra fan.
You like the more
like
hardcore, more realistic, kind of gritty type of action
I don't know if I'd call
stuff.
Contra realistic,
It's not.
but you know.
They try to be. They take themselves more
It's
seriously.
not overly cartoony.
Yes, Metal
Right.
Slug has been sort of the cartoon version of something like a Contra.
Right.
And I've always really enjoyed Metal Slug. I always thought the sense of humor was really cool. And the controls and the combat and the difficulty, it's a very challenging series. Every single one of the games has been difficult, but I've loved the kind of sheer insanity and variety that you get. Gameplay from Metal Slug 1 through 6, however, isn't all that different. I mean, they changed some of the locations.
It's an understatement.
They changed some of the power-ups and things that you can collect. You get new characters along the way.
You don't really see the graphical history
No.
as you progress through the series, do you?
No, I mean, it's not like looking at the Mega Man games and seeing how much those have kind of changed over the years, even though
that's pushing it.
But Metal Slug really hasn't changed all that much. Metal Slug 6, though,
It's the first time it's appeared on a console.
that's right, and it's in this anthology on the Wii, and it does look different. You know what? I would say that it's a bit much. You know, you play through all 6 of these things, and it's like, okay, I get it. I get the Metal Slug deal.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like there are so many cool anthology collections and discs right now, like with the Sega Genesis collection and EA Replay on the PSP and Capcom and Namco. Everybody's made these amazing collections of tons of games, and these 6 or 7, because one of them's they have like a remix version of one of the Metal Slugs. It would have been awesome to have these on a bigger S&K deal with lots of King of the Fighters and Baseball All-Stars and all kinds of cool old S&K games on one big disc that has like 40 different games.
It is interesting, though, that you can save anywhere in the game,
Totally.
so I thought that was cool. I felt after playing for a couple hours, you know, the A and B button are too close together.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2 now.
And it's 1 and 2 button. And this crosshair system
the D-pad
doesn't work.
Well, it hurts your hand. I mean,
know?
it's not really shaped for a long time, you know, competitive play, you know, action adventure type play that you're going to be in there for a long time with. It's kind of like short bursts of arcadey type fun. And I did think it was a little bit weird too that there was so much loading within the game too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's loading in between these pretty simplistic stages. What are you going to give Metal Slug Anthology for the Wii?
I'm giving it a 4.5.
Wow, now I'm giving Metal Slug Anthology a 7.5 out of 10. On the positive side, you get 7 different games in there. Metal Slug 6 has never been seen before on a console. You can save at any time during these games. And for the Metal Slug hardcores, there's lots of unlockables to collect as well.
On the negative side, the load times suck. It's hard to use the Nintendo controller with this game, and the series overall starts to get a little repetitive, especially graphically.
All right, today in hardware, we're talking about more classic stuff. This is Mad Catz Arcade Game Stick for the Xbox 360. Of course, it's designed to take advantage of Xbox Live Arcade, where you can purchase several classic old arcade games. And the thing is shaped kind of interestingly. I mean, it looks like it's going to be really cool. Mm-hmm. It has a big joystick like the old style arcade sticks. It has a better functioning D-pad than the pack-in Xbox 360 controller.
What I love is that it has a spinner.
It does have a spinner.
Now, the only games that really use that spinner is Pong and Breakout would be
Tempest.
Arkanoid and Tempest.
Arkanoid, yes.
But none of those games are on
currently
Xbox.
But it does come with 3 games.
Getting back to the joystick.
Yeah, the joystick does come with 3 games.
You got your Frogger, which is great. Time Pilot, which is great.
Classic. Everybody should get Time Pilot.
And
Astro Pop, which is kind of...
I like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Tetris on steroids. But
getting back to the joystick.
The problem is the joystick.
Yeah.
I mean, why didn't they go with the old school, you know, thin thing with the knob? Because I tried to play Pac-Man and Time Pilot and all these games, and because it's so long and thin, it's really hard to use that joystick to control those games.
This is a very uncomfortable
What are you talking
review.
about?
It's uncomfortable. But a good idea, and hopefully somebody else picks up on this and makes it even better. I'm talking to you, Logitech. Are you going to recommend the Mad Catz Arcade Game Stick?
I can't under these current conditions.
I can't either. All right, stick around, because when we come back, we have a very unique versus. We're looking at the 3 Burger King games. You could only buy these at Burger King. They're going head-to-head after this.